So we've got Ollie Hill here today. So to give you guys a bit of a backstory, me and Ollie met actually through an ex-partner of mine. I was one of the first people he met over here in Australia. He ended up moving here not too long after. And I didn't really know too much about this cat. And then anyways, I started seeing him popping up on Instagram and shit. Ran into him at an event that I was crewing. He was like, yo, I know you. And anyways, did a bit of digging, did a bit of research. And so it turns out he's like Australia's best hypnotist. And so I've actually been seeing Ollie as of late for the last 4 weeks. We just finished our 4-week block this week now to get some subconscious reprogramming around money done. So for me, what I found was that I would always do really well. Like I have no problem making money. Like I'd have $100,000 a month, but then I'd spend $110,000. Or I'd like, get like 3 or 4 clients in and then I'd take my foot off the gas. And what I noticed was that it was like this pattern of self-sabotage that even though it wasn't me smoking meth or, snorting cocaine, I still had these other patterns of self-sabotage that were playing out with my business. And so I've been working with Ollie over the last 4 weeks. And what I can say is that I've noticed some massive changes in the way that I'm showing up. Number one. Number two, my energy levels and also my thoughts and beliefs around money have completely shifted. And so I thought it'd be really cool to bring Ollie on today to help you guys out. And for anyone watching the recording back as well, it's going to be great if you just put the recording on. I've been doing some pre-recorded hypnosis every single morning since me and Ollie started working together, and it's been a game changer. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Ollie Hill, the subconscious reprogrammer, Australia's #1 hypnotist, and someone that's going to obviously impact you guys and hopefully the same way he's impacted me. So I'll give the floor over to you, brother.
Let's go, guys. I'm super excited for this morning. So what we've got going on, I'm going to give a little bit of an introduction. Then I'm going to break down the science of how this works. And I haven't actually done this before. These are the internal documents that I use to train my team on. I haven't publicly shared that before, but obviously Ben's close with me. We've met, one of the first guys I met in Aussie, and I'd love to see that for you guys as well, because not just the experience today being something that you can take away, but actually how to implement this as a tool for yourself, because the brain's either sabotaging us or serving us. There's no middle ground, and it really comes back to what we're programmed for. So just helping you guys at an identity level become the type of person that you want to be, rather than what your background would have naturally made you lean towards, right? Even, for example, Ben, with all the history that Ben has, he's chosen a far more positive identity rather than the one that he could have easily been pulled down into. So going to do a brief intro, going to break down some science for you guys. It's not too nerdy because I fucking hate talking about studies all the time. People that need these, research papers, instead of just feeling it for themselves, I think that's a disconnect between actually being in touch with who we are and just trust the information, bro, following the source. So I'll pull up my screen real quick and we'll dive in. Perfect. All right. Now, can you guys see who could you be if you were truly free? Just give me a thumbs up. Wicked. Okay, cool. So what we're actually going to cover is how do you get your brain to have an identity that serves you rather than sabotages you. And just to quickly explain what that means, when I hypnotize people with addictions all the time as well. I had Ben as a target. I was like, oh, okay, I'll infiltrate Ben's system and help his guys because I know they need it. And when I get someone to quit smoking, I hardly even say the word cigarette, because what we're actually focusing on is being the identity of a smoker versus not a smoker. If you have to use willpower to make positive changes in your life, or if you have to use willpower to quit the negative things in your life, it's always that much harder. Willpower is exhausting. We only have a certain amount of it in our day. So we actually want to get to the point where we don't find these things appealing anymore. It's not that we want to fight our natural urges. We want to shift what our natural urges actually are. So I only whipped up this presentation this morning. Let's see what we're going through. Cool. Now there's 3 different bits that I want to break down in this, and just starting to get a perspective on why you are at where you're at, because the results in our life come from something that I call our subconscious success setting. If you think of your brain like air conditioning, and I'm going to use Celsius, I can't figure out Fahrenheit for the life of me. So let's say 25 degrees Celsius. That's a pretty neutral temperature for us over here in Australia. If your brain is programmed for 25 degrees of success, health, and happiness, but then all of a sudden your life starts moving up towards 28, 29, 30, your subconscious has to push you back down to what you were programmed for. Your subconscious is always fighting to return you to what you've been programmed for. So that's why a lot of addicts will have 1 month brilliantly sober, 6 months brilliantly sober, 7, 8 months, and it's like, fuck, life is going so well. That's exactly when they shoot themselves in the foot and send themselves right back to the start. It's almost like the better life gets, the more your brain needs to push you back to what it's programmed for. My hypnosis is all about getting your brain to say, okay, what used to be too good for us is now just our norm. That's just standard. This is where your brain feels comfortable. For example, Ben would make 100,000 in a month, but because his programming was set for less than that, he had to just subconsciously go and spend all this money. He had to take the gas off because his brain wasn't accepting that position. It wasn't comfortable with that position. Does that make sense, guys? Perfect. Cool. And moving forwards, what I want to cover today is just helping you guys understand how you can twist that dial, twist that subconscious success setting for yourself so that you're able to elevate your life naturally. You aren't your goals, you are your minimums. You are your standards, you are yourself at your lowest. And by raising our minimums, we actually raise every other result that we get in our life. So who's this for? I work with business owners primarily, guys that are pushing 6, 7, 8 figures, trying to help them scale, and usually being aware. Once you can make a certain amount of money, you realize that it's just your mind holding you back from more money. If you can make one amount, you can make any amount. It just comes down to the mindset that we're approaching things with. So people that have had addictions, I've worked with meth addicts, cigarette smokers, alcoholics, people with fears and phobias, or just dealing with divorces and breakups. Sometimes we're in an emotional rut that we know doesn't serve us, but how do we snap out of that? Because if our brain gets comfortable being miserable, then no matter how hard we try, misery is what we default back to. So I want to give you guys the tools to help you snap out of that. These are some of my clients. There's Ben, obviously. This guy is high up in Porsche Sales New Zealand. This is one of Ben's former coaches. Ben got coached in his business by her. You can't see him because I messed this up, but these guys are professional paddleball players over in the States. They're touring Florida right now. So yeah, quite a variety of different backgrounds. And then this is actually where it starts to get into the sales part of the pitch deck. So I'm not going to use that. I'm going to move into the education piece of it now. But I know when you've put effort into leveling up, sometimes it feels like you're pushing shit uphill. And the harder you try, the more you're going, fuck, am I just not built for this? Is this for everybody else and not for me? Like, why does this idiot seem to just keep winning and winning and winning, but I do the same thing and I just keep going backwards and backwards and backwards? Now, I'll break down into the science of this and then we'll get into the experience. So let me change tabs real quick, present something else. Cool. Now, this is what I train my team on. I haven't shown this publicly before, but your results tell us the real story. So whatever you think you're moving towards in life, whatever we say that we value, our results are the only thing that's real. So people, you often hear it with, some people that are self-sabotaging, or you might be arguing with your partner and you're trying to say, I'm different, I've changed, or you hear this from guys all the time, I've changed, I'll do different, I'm not like that anymore. But the only thing that matters at the end of the day is our results, it's our actions. It's not what we think we value. Our results show us what we really value. If we value our time highly, but we're still charging our clients less than we know we could, we're still working in a job that's less than we know we're worth, that shows us where our real value is at. And this is a conscious versus subconscious discrepancy. Consciously, you know you could be more. Subconsciously, your brain is telling you it's okay to stay where you're at. So we don't want to focus in on your problem. The only thing that matters, the brain is binary. It's on, off. So instead of thinking it like a dimmer switch where you can turn it up or down, self-belief is yes or no. It's on or off. And if we kind of think we might be able to quit our addiction, if we kind of think we might be able to have a better relationship, or kind of think that we could do better in business, we're never going to. It's 0% or 100%. At the subconscious level, if you have some hesitation, it means your subconscious is certain that you will not get there. And if your subconscious is certain that you won't get there, that means it does not feel safe in getting towards your goals, and therefore it won't allow you to reach your goals. Because the brain is a surviving machine, not a thriving machine, guys. This is why people repeat their same patterns for so long. Because if you're alive, you've got a 100% success rate. The brain believes it's done everything that it needs to do. Does that make sense? So it's happy. It's at peace. And it's not until we subconsciously go in this is what we do in hypnosis. We say, hey, we're alive, but we don't just need to survive anymore. It's time for us to thrive. Like there's a next step. We can do better and we must do better. So the conscious mind controls and processes 150 to 250 bits of information per second. Your subconscious mind is controlling and processing 150 million to 250 million bits of information per second. So think about everything you think of during the day. Realize your subconscious is doing 1 million times more than that in the background at the same time without you even realizing. That's an unfathomably large amount because consciously, we don't have the processing power to be able to do that. So it's like the tip of the iceberg, right? Consciously, you're here. That's what we think our life is. But actually, the subconscious is what we believe we're capable of. This is what actually runs the show. And so you can be all good, all sweet up here in the conscious mind, but if there's subconscious issues going on, we won't progress. Now, why we move into hypnosis is because hypnosis allows us past this gatekeeper. In hypnosis, we call this gatekeeper the conscious critical faculty. I'm sure, I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation, right? This is just the one that comes to mind first with me, where you have a partner, you have a girlfriend or something, and you're trying to tell them how beautiful you think they look, or how valuable, how special you think they are, and they just won't fucking hear it. No matter what, if their self-image is below the praise that you're trying to give them, they just won't receive it no matter what. And that's because the conscious critical faculty is in the way. This is the part of the brain responsible for keeping what we've always believed about ourselves to be true. And if I think I'm an addict, then my conscious critical faculty holds on to that belief. And if someone gives me support and says, hey, you could do better, you could have a more enjoyable life, you could be successful and loved, then the conscious critical faculty just kicks that right out. It's the gatekeeper that just fucks off anything positive. It just says goodbye, leave that in the past. That clearly can't be right for me. And hypnosis is the only time where we're able to bypass that critical faculty and get into the subconscious mind. There's a great video on my Instagram where I hypnotize a girl to believe that I'm invisible. And because we've made that, we've bypassed the conscious critical faculty and we've placed the belief that I'm invisible in her subconscious mind, her brain literally distorts the visual information she gets in order to allow that to be true. Whatever your subconscious believes is true, you will experience in life. They did this study on guys with social anxiety, and they found that those with social anxiety are 8 times more likely to interpret a neutral face as a negative one than normal people are. Your brain warps your reality in order to show you what it believes. If you think there's no opportunity, I can't do better, I can't get a better job, I can't go into business for myself, your brain will show you things that confirms that. And so what I want to give you guys a glimpse of today and get you feeling today is there's 3 stages of change. There's thinking, feeling, and being. And you guys have all had thoughts of your better potential. You're interested in personal development. Otherwise, you wouldn't fucking be here today. You felt it. There's been times where you felt like the best version of yourself, where you felt more capable, more pride in who you are. But what we have to get to, this is where it changed lives, is getting to, this is where change lives, is getting to being, where it's just natural for you to be more. Ben isn't fighting himself to go and do more work. It's natural for him to step into that next level because we didn't change his money habits. We changed his identity. We're looking at the personality level. My program is actually called the Hypnotic Personality Reset for this reason. I don't give a fuck what your habits are. We're looking at your personality because that is the trigger. That is what stores any and every habit. Does that make sense, guys? Cool. Any questions off the back of that before we get into the experience side of things? Wicked. Cool. What I'll run you through now, when we're doing a group experience, everybody's experience is a little bit different. Ben, I'll ask you real quick. What color do you think of when I ask you to think of a color that represents love?
Red.
Cool. Some people say pink. Some people say white. Some people say gold or green because that's the heart chakra. Whatever it is for you is what's right for your subconscious mind. So as we go through this, each of us will have a different experience. As I ask you to think about certain things, that'll remind you of certain random stuff. If I think of love, maybe I think of my nana first. For some of you, it might be your mom, it might be your dad, might be your kids. Whatever it is, that's what's right for you. There's no right or wrong experience in hypnosis. What we want to make sure of is just that you're sitting somewhere as undisturbed as you can be. If you're at work, obviously that's fine. And just get comfortable in one, eyes open, wide awake, feeling completely amazing, ready to dominate your day. Shrug it out. Take a few deep breaths, letting everything sink in. Well done. Thank you. How you feeling, Ben? Yeah. Beautiful.
Good as always.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We got 2 Bens, 2 Corys on today's call.
So how's other Ben feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. That was very interesting, like nothing I've ever done.
Wicked, man. So what I'll give all of you, I'll get Ben to send it to you somehow, but I'll give you guys an audio that I'd like you to start your next 7 days with. This state, this mindset, like I fucking live in this, bro. I live in this confidence. I live in pretty much peace because I'm moving forwards from the place of the future. This is a little nugget that I have to give you guys. So I call it the PPF mechanism. Past, present, future. Your future, the brain extrapolates your future based on the past. It uses your past to predict your future, but your future determines how you feel in the present moment. So because I have 100% certainty in my subconscious that my future is going to be brilliant, I feel brilliant in the present. If you imagine yourself on a line and you know that line is going up to the roof, even while you're at the start of the line, you feel fucking fantastic because you know you're going up. Whereas if you expect to be going down, this is what a midlife crisis is, guys. People hit 40 and they expect that life looks downhill from here. So even though it's not downhill yet, they feel shit in the moment because they're predicting that life will go down. Whereas when we get your brain conditioned to anticipating and moving towards a beautiful fucking future, you feel great right here, right now. So I'll get Ben to send you guys that audio. Corey, what stood out to you? Corey with a K, what stood out to you from today?
I mean, I was super chilled out. I thought I didn't know if I was like dozing off, but I knew I wasn't because I was still fully present. Like I could hear everything you were saying and picture everything. But yeah, man, it was cool. The path thing I was kind of picturing running down the path, with my family with me, and yeah, it was cool.
Everyone's experience is so different, and it's a state. Your physical body can sleep while your mind stays alert. And if you guys want some really cool fucking like mind-blowing shit to look at, I don't actually know if it'll show up in the States, but over here, if you Google, just a Google search, if you just Google search the Gateway Experience, the first link that pops up is CIA.gov/the Gateway Experience. And it's this research paper. They commissioned a guy, it's a 140-page report. They commissioned this scientist to basically break down what is consciousness and how can we alter reality by controlling our brain better. So if you want a little nugget to go research from here, I'd go Google that. My Instagram, I just changed my Instagram. So there's a brand new one. If you'd like to find me, that is HPR Method on Instagram. There's more audio.
What I'll do is I'll put the link into the group chat because we're going to get you to come back one Tuesday night as well. Do we figure out a date for that?
Just calendar invite me, bro. I'll fucking say yes to whenever.
My guy. Yes, we'll figure that one out. But I'll put the link for you guys into the group chat. Highly recommend giving Ollie a fucking follow. His content's hilarious. It's fucking great. Like the shit he does like a lot of street hypnotism and stuff like that. It's fucking lit, fuck crazy. So I'll definitely put that up there for you guys. But man, I'd love you all just to take yourselves off mute and just say one takeaway and how you feel that impacted you. Just for Ollie to get something out of this as well. A little bit of gratitude for him. So one thing that you took out of that, and then one thing that you think is going to be different for you now. Don't all talk.
I'll go first. Yeah, I'll go first. No one else was speaking.
Good man.
Thanks for that, Ollie. Yeah, I was on my way driving to another job, so I pulled over for it so I can get the most out of it. And I'm glad I did. It's I always have negative thoughts about where I'm gonna be, what way I'm heading, and stuff like that. Especially being a new business. So it was nice to kind of have a bit of insight into a bit of self-worth and know I'm on the right track and doing the right thing. It's everything I kind of saw was everything with family and making my life and their life better, and that's the whole reason why we do what we do, isn't it? So it's thank you.
Welcome, man. 1,000%. And dude, like, you have to base your self-image off the future version of yourself, because you might be new in business right now, but there's a version of you, like the stuff you struggle with right now, there's a version of you 5 years from now where he like laughs at it and he's like, oh, I thought that was hard back then. So the only difference between that version of you, like you have the same brain. Then they're not doing brain transplants anytime soon. So you already have that guy's brain, and there's no fucking holes in the skull that new stuff can come in. You actually have everything you need already. It is literally just a mindset. So when you approach with it, like, I'm fucking 22, but I know that I approach everything with the confidence of my 30-year-old self at minimum, right? Like, I go into this with not how I would react. My full name is actually Ethan Ollie Hill, but I go by Ollie because Ollie is the best version of myself. Ollie is the experienced, confident, calm, mature version of myself. So when I'm faced with a decision, I actively don't do what I want to do. I do what Ollie would do in that situation. So as you're moving forwards, bro, just don't think about what you right now would do. Think about what the best version of Aaron would do in these situations. And it makes it so fucking easy. It honestly like just simplifies the process a lot.
Thank you.
For me, again, it was a very heightened sense of relaxation, which was incredible. But basically what I was thinking is just how a lot of the self-doubt is just repetition of old habits, just keep on playing back. And that pattern of always question myself is just myself holding myself back, and it's all the confidence and everything I need is deep in there. And I did it was like a really gratifying feeling during that experience, where when I really slowed down, I listened and followed your guide. I felt much calmer and more certain, and like I guess almost like a sense of more decisiveness. So just again, knowing that how powerful your thoughts are in shaping your identity, and how all those powerful tools are within there. And I guess just being able to trust yourself and follow that inner things that are there all along.
It's always there for us, eh? Yeah, like we've got everything that we need, and sometimes we forget, but we can tap back into it. What about the Corys?
Yeah, the part there where you got us in that trance and you were explaining us walking down the beach to see the child crying, and that was our version of us, and then it grew into the better person. That did break me a bit, because that's something I do struggle with, and I see it is only myself holding myself back. And from now on, I'll definitely listen back to this again and to some of your other audios, and it's really good. The relaxation and the thought process just out of those few minutes of change, I'm going to go even into today, let alone life, with a different mindset.
Exactly, Corey. And I saw that as well. Like, I saw it in you, because I know for you, it wasn't the easiest to naturally sink into it, even just in the environment that you're in, But it's funny you mentioned that part, because that's where you most physically relaxed as well, after having to overcome the resistance. So whatever obstacles come up, like, it's there so that you get over it on the other side. And it's almost like a tension. Like, you have to build the obstacle in order to break it and then be stronger on the other side. So love it, man. Yeah, the audios will be great for you. And just going over some of that old stuff, like, everybody's got the old ghosts, and when we let those go, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ollie. For me, I didn't open my eyes a single time, obviously, and I was like, man, am I like melted down into my chair? I felt like I totally just sunk down, and I'm sure I didn't move at all, but that's how it felt. I felt really heavy and just relaxed, and yeah, man, I feel a lot more clear. Even just exiting, I mean, it's at nighttime over here, but going back into the house, like, I'm in my back office here, a little separate unit. I'm just like, I just feel like $1,000,000, totally refreshed and a little bit more clear on kind of, I think you mentioned, like, we have the ability to do the things to get to the point we want to get to, but we sometimes make these excuses. And I feel like I've been doing that a bit, especially lately, last few weeks, and kind of just forward thinking of, what to do, and you have the ability to do it, and kind of clearing that up a little bit in my own mind to get me to that point. So that's what I took from it, and I appreciate it.
100%. Just go do it. Let's all have a great week and get out of our own way. And so don't overthink, don't reflect too hard, just fucking go for it. And genuinely, like, that's the way that you learn. You find out, and once if you're always moving upwards, you're always getting past the block. So an object in motion stays in motion, and let's get that fucking motion churning this week.
Totally.
Awesome, lads. Well, let's all say a big thank you to Ollie. Honestly, brother, so excited to have you here, and it was great to have you come in and serve these men. I'll put your links up into the community as well. Just before you run away, bro, how's next Tuesday night looking for the community call?
I'm in.
Done. All right, I'm going to send you an invite right now.
Perfect.
Bro. Anyways, lads, thank you all for coming. Ollie, thank you so much for serving us, bro. So grateful. And thank you for everything you've done to help me, bro. I just want to say a very heartfelt thank you, bro, because the shift that I noticed in myself in the last 4 weeks and just the way I show up every single day has been phenomenal, bro. And that's thanks to you guiding me in the work that you've done with me, bro. So just much love and respect, bro. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Let's go hard, guys. Can't wait to see you all grow.
All right, legends. Big love.